For centuries, a single text has generated more wild theories, conspiracy claims, and theological confusion than almost any other document in biblical antiquity. The New Testament author Jude directly quotes it as a source of prophecy. Yet, if you open a standard Jewish or Christian Bible today, this text is completely missing. The internet is saturated with claims that the church suppressed a secret monolithic Book of Enoch. The reality is much more complicated. That singular book never actually existed. Instead of one lost book, historians study the Enochic continuum, a collection built around 3 pillars: first, second, and third Enoch. Not written by the biblical patriarch, they were compiled by anonymous authors over 8 centuries, from 300 BCE into the 6th century CE. To understand why these writings failed the canonization test, we have to reverse engineer their architecture and trace how their view of the angelic realm evolved. Understanding Enoch requires stripping away modern internet myths and examining the strict structural logic the ancient authors actually used. The baseline of this literature is First Enoch, compiled between 300 and 100 BCE in Aramaic and Hebrew. This table of contents shows that First Enoch is actually 5 subbooks stitched together. It begins with the Book of the Watchers, a text detailing the rebellion of angels and the creation of the Nephilim. The second block is the Book of the Similitudes, which shifts the focus toward apocalyptic judgment and a coming messianic figure. Next is the Book of Luminaries. Here, the text functions as an astronomical treatise, detailing heavenly calendars and the exact mechanics of the cosmos. The fourth section, the Book of Dreams, outlines the history of the world through a series of intense symbolic animal visions. Finally, the compilation closes with the Epistle of Enoch, a collection of strict ethical teachings and moral exhortations. This complete 5-part compilation was entirely lost to the Western world for centuries. It only survived because the Ethiopian Orthodox Church preserved it in the Ge'ez language, until explorer James Bruce brought copies back to Europe in 1773. First Enoch belongs to the genre of apocalyptic literature. In antiquity, this style utilized intense, otherworldly visions to reveal hidden cosmic truths to a human audience. But as this manuscript tradition aged, moving into Second Enoch in the 1st century and Third Enoch by the 5th and 6th centuries, the genre mutated. The Enochic texts evolved from standard apocalyptic warnings about earthly corruption into highly structured, deeply complex Jewish mysticism. Mapping the specific angelology of these manuscripts identifies the mechanisms of the Enochic mystical shift. In First Enoch, the primary conflict is downward. Rogue angelic agents, known as the Watchers, illegally breached the earthly domain to procreate with humans. According to the text, this union created the Nephilim. When the Nephilim died, their disembodied forms remained on Earth, establishing an apocryphal origin story for evil spirits. This concentric diagram of celestial architecture from Third Enoch flips that dynamic. It operates like a highly secure, nested corporate network. The outer rings are classified as the lower heavens, managed by planetary and stellar angels. Past those lower levels sits a heavily fortified inner core known as the 7th heaven. This is the containment zone for the Merkabah, the divine chariot and throne of God. By the 5th century, the literature abandons earthly affairs entirely. Third Enoch focuses exclusively on the bureaucratic administration of this highest heaven.
The text rigidly categorizes the elite archistrategies, top-tier archangels like Michael and Gabriel, assigning them highly specific operational duties to guard the Merkabah. Across the centuries, the narrative core completely inverted. The anxiety over earthly corruption was replaced by an obsession with the strict hierarchical administration of the divine throne room. This obsession drives the most extreme theological shift in the entire tradition, the ontological transformation of the patriarch Enoch himself. In the Book of Genesis and First Enoch, he is a mere mortal visionary, a human who simply walked with God. By the time Second Enoch is written, he ascends through the multiple heavens. His earthly flesh is physically altered, and he is appointed as a celestial scribe. Third Enoch delivers the absolute climax. Here, Enoch undergoes a complete transfiguration, losing his human nature entirely to become a being of pure divine light. The human Enoch is rewritten into the ultimate angelic entity. He is given a new name, Metatron. Metatron operates as the supreme systems administrator of the cosmos. He holds the exclusive title of the Prince of the Presence. The text even refers to him as the Lesser Yahweh, a being entrusted with the absolute divine secrets of creation, the past, the present, and the future. This transfiguration reveals the end goal of Merkabah mysticism. It removes religion from the messy reality of earthly judgment and redirects it entirely toward the ultimate upward ascension of the soul. All of this brings us back to the opening tension. If a New Testament author quoted from this tradition, what are the actual historical reasons it was excluded from the Bible? You can find endless claims online that Augustine or the early Catholic Church arbitrarily suppressed the book out of fear. The historical record does not support that. This canonical checklist shows the rigorous academic criteria used by both the Jewish canon and the early Church Fathers. Texts had to pass strict tests for prophetic authorship, doctrinal purity, and textual cohesion. First, the Enochic texts are pseudepigrapha. They were written by unknown authors during the intertestamental silent years and falsely attributed to the ancient patriarch. Second, the text imported compromised cultural lore. Claiming that all evil spirits were disembodied Nephilim directly contradicted orthodox biblical angelology. Finally, there is no singular inspired vision. The texts are the result of centuries of heavy editorial redactions and expansions by competing mystical sects. Early religious scholars excluded the Enochic literature based on a strict, evidence-based academic evaluation of its authenticity and theological consistency.
The historical record identifies the Book of Enoch as a specialized literature of specific mystical sects, independent of the public biblical canon. The collection serves as an invaluable academic artifact that documents the massive 8th century evolution of ancient religious thought. It offers a rare window into Second Temple Judaism, serving as a crucial bridge between Old Testament lore and the cultural backdrop of the New Testament. The Enochic texts record a transition from basic moral exhortations to the multi-layered architecture of medieval mysticism. We know the early church read it, but it ultimately wasn't recognized as canon. Do you think there is still spiritual value in Christians reading texts like the Book of Enoch today for historical context, or is it better left on the shelf? We'd love to hear where you stand in the comments.
Thank you so much for watching this video on our TheoflowAI channel. If you have liked this video, then kindly consider hitting that like and subscribe button along with that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all our latest videos. We'll see you all in the next one. Until then, take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.